Aries symbol. With today's full moon, there can be the illumination of a matter, an epiphany, or a culmination, dear Aries. This lunation occurs in your communications and immediate environment sector, stimulating quite a bit of flux and activity, mainly on a mental level. There can be errands to run, deadlines to meet, a culmination of a project or study, or important news. Transportation issues can reach a critical point. It can be a hectic time, but it's also a period of discovering feelings that have been building and then embracing them. This lunation may bring a project to a head or an important realization into your consciousness. Do what you can to avoid the feeling of being overwhelmed. Delayed travel or issues with communications or transportation systems in your life can wreak some havoc, although this is nothing you can't handle. What emerges from all of this in the coming days can lead to important ideas, primarily related to learning, teaching, publishing, and career. Taurus symbol. Today's full moon in your resources sector can bring light to a financial matter, dear Taurus. Issues surrounding personal possessions, valuables, talents, and resources are reaching a turning point now. In focus is a close relationship or a revelation that leads to new and significant ideas in the coming days. A whirlwind of activity surrounding money matters is possible. There can be a tug of war, whether it's within yourself or with someone, over money, possessions, and issues of control. Whatever emerges at this time can prompt a change for the better. This lunation falls along an axis that has to do with talents and resources along with sexual and intimate relationships, and new feelings or discoveries may revolve around these things. Try not to get too excited until all the facts are in, but pay close attention to what your emotions and intuition are telling you now. Gemini symbol. Today features a full moon in your sign, stirring an important personal revelation, dear Gemini. This lunation puts your emotions on your sleeve and you in the spotlight. You are in demand. You awaken to strong feelings that you may not have acknowledged. Even with a relationship-focused cycle in force, you're connecting with your needs for independence, a voice, or personal time. While the extra attention you've been giving other people in your life these days is positive and beneficial, if you overdo it, you will fail to recognize your own needs and desires fully. The full moon today gives you the license to self-nurture. Be careful not to hook yourself to something unless your heart is truly into it, especially with Venus turning retrograde tomorrow. Pay attention to your feelings but take your time forming conclusions and decisions. There's a lot of attention and focus on you. Desires can feel pressing, and you are giving off good vibes. Cancer symbol. Today's full moon can remind you of the need for emotional regeneration, rest, or downtime, dear Cancer. It can also bring the fruition of a work matter or a secret to light. While it's a good time for connecting with your intuition, Venus will turn retrograde tomorrow, and it may be better to observe what comes to the surface today but then wait and see. This full moon occurs in your privacy sector, and it can pull up powerful hunches or bring a private matter into awareness. A stronger understanding of your true feelings on a subject can facilitate healing, although you could initially feel a bit flooded. There may be a potent reminder of a need for extra rest or attention to your emotional life now, especially if you've been going hard in other life departments recently. It's an excellent time to get in touch with what's been brewing beneath the surface. Leo. Today's full moon can awaken you to your feelings about someone or rekindle an interest in a project that you haven't yet pursued, dear Leo. You can feel inspired to do your best or pursue a dream with the encouragement of a friend. Or, a friend may demand your attention. Indeed, this full moon can bring people to you, or it can stir up a lot of activity/feelings in your social life. It can be a time of a sudden demand for your help, support, or company. You might wrestle with expectations in your social life, or social or romantic matters can be draining if something is up in the air. Taking a step back from the action is appropriate until you gain some perspective. Clarifying an issue with a friend may be helpful and relieving, but with Venus turning retrograde tomorrow, you may need to wait and see. Still, you might enjoy a pleasant feeling of being needed and needing others. Take in information, but take your time to process everything. Virgo, with today's full moon, your goals come into stronger focus, dear Virgo. Career or public attention may come your way. You might awaken to feelings of what you want to do or realize that you should get your priorities clear. This lunation can bring a project to a head and a sudden need to attend to business. It can challenge your excuses to stay out of the limelight or avoid specific responsibilities. There has been a beneficial focus on your home and family life these days, but going too far with it means the benefits begin to drop off. You might suddenly be in the position to perform, take charge, or otherwise lead and manage. It may be a busy time for work or responsibilities. Imbalances reveal themselves or are noticed more acutely at the time of a full moon, and it's up to you to try to restore order in your life in the week following. Paying closer attention to the rules is essential now, and the full moon's energies can be a reminder to manage your time and focus more effectively. Libra, the full moon today can remind you of your needs for increased freedom, spontaneity, and fresh experiences, dear Libra. You might publish or complete a significant project around this time, or you awaken to a strong desire to do something completely different. An idea that you've been working on might blossom now. Word on an application, interview, or educational matter could arrive. Your mind may be working overtime, or you could be facing some lack of inspiration. If you feel overwhelmed with activities or information, it's a signal to slow things down or seek spirit-refreshing experiences. Your personal appeal is strong today. Avoid giving in to sudden impulses and desires, but do treat yourself to some form of light indulgence or extravagance, something that you won't later regret. Scorpio, the full moon today can bring a revelation about an intimate relationship, dear Scorpio, or a financial matter comes to light. It can certainly awaken strong feelings and previously hidden desires. There can be a turning point for debts, support, or dependencies. In fact, if there have been issues with boundaries, borrowing, or lending, they might reach a peak around now. There could be drama with money, or relationship needs are in sharp focus. Take your time when it comes to making any super important decisions in your intimate life. Emotions are strong right now, and they're at battle with logic. If you've been dependent on things or people in unhealthy ways, this can be a time for wanting to make a change. You might experience a moment of truth that motivates you to kick a bad habit and live a freer, more joyful life as a result. Emotional discoveries can lead to important ideas and paths in the coming days. Sagittarius, today's full moon can bring a whirlwind of emotion and activity with a close partner, dear Sagittarius. It can mark a turning point for a key relationship. Revelations related to relationships and relationship needs are possible, or your true feelings emerge. Whatever comes to light now is tied to brave new beginnings. There can be a test of a partnership, but also an opportunity to connect more fully to your feelings or a special someone. There can be significant announcements, epiphanies, and realizations. News today is important but possibly overblown and exaggerated, so take the time to process everything before deciding something game-changing. Capricorn, today's full moon can bring an epiphany about your habits, health, or work, dear Capricorn. A matter that you've been avoiding may now come to a turning point. You could become aware of the need to manage your daily affairs with more punctuality or determination. You might see a flaw in a plan that sets you on the road to improvement. As your body demands more renewal and relaxation, you must prioritize finding a better balance between work and rest. while there is a new and necessary focus on your emotional wellness and need for personal time in your life these days, today's full moon reminds you of your duties. Do your best to stay centered and use any feelings of inner satisfaction to make positive changes in the coming weeks. Aquarius, today's full moon encourages you to recognize and embrace romantic or creative feelings, dear Aquarius. It may be about following your heart, but first and foremost, it's about knowing what's in your heart. Fortunately, full moons have a way of pulling up our true, buried, or unacknowledged feelings on a matter, and this one is no different. It's possible that there is a stir with a creative project or romance now, or a relationship matter rattles your cage. Something can open your heart to buried feelings and your eyes to situations that need your attention. This full moon could serve as a nudge to get going on something creative, playful, or just for fun. Your needs for special attention, feedback, and entertainment are aroused now, and you're ready to do something about it. Pisces, today's full moon can serve as a reminder to pay more attention to the emotional, supportive elements of your life, dear Pisces. A personal matter can demand your attention. Improving your domestic life or living conditions can be a priority, even if it seems you don't have the time to do so. If you're feeling without an anchor or game plan, let this lunation redirect and reorient you in constructive ways. Getting more acquainted with your needs and wants can certainly boost decision-making. Circumstances remind you of the need for improved time and energy management and a better work-life balance. Feelings and situations that were previously hidden step into the light now.